Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a great week. So far last week, we stayed sideways. We were not able to break over this 5340. We had a rejection and now we're still kind of just hovering near the 5340. So I still think that we are either finishing up a wave 4 right now, in which case we will be a little bit choppy before we push up for a wave 5, or if we're still in a wave 3, or you can see here if I flip this from the top to the bottom, we push to the 2 fib, right? So this wave 3 could continue. The other thing is we could push to like 5400-ish, come down for that wave 4 before we finish that wave 5. So those are kind of the two options I am watching. This is the max bearish. I still see immediate higher before we have weakness once we hit that spot. So yeah, with that being said, we can again look at the chart of QQQ and see how we're doing. And we pretty much are following along from the last time we discussed. We are still pushing along in our green path higher. Bigger picture, we know this is the channel, so not much is done. Any pullback will likely be a dip to buy again till we push up to the top of this channel here. We look at the chart of the dollar. We did continue to see weakness in the dollar, but you can see that we have rejected this prior support. It does look like it wants to follow, but again, as long as we're holding over this support, or as long as we're above 104, there is still no decision yet in the dollar before you can, kind of play out a super bearish path. I mean, you may ask me, what is a bear path? Given that even the yields, right, we're still just sideways at the trend line, it's not made a decision. You may ask me, like, what is the bear path? Like, these are just my short-term paths. You can see that bigger picture. I know it has a lot of lines, but just bear with me. For me, this is my 1-2, right? We had a running flat here. And we're still in my wave 3. If this is your 1-2, that means we're still in the mega wave 3. So, which is why I don't think we're done yet. But again, we did break this high. So by the rule of theory, our wave 3 could have ended here. So to be super bearish, let's break below 5250 at least, and then we can start talking about it. But again, for us to have any confirmation, we probably have to, right? You can see here, push down, have a bounce, and again we have to reject this 5250 again, in which case we are in this wave 4 lower. But I still don't think we're here yet. I still am watching those two paths, but given how overbought we are, don't be blind to the other side. That's just why I wanted to talk about it. And again, given the paths we're talking about, if this is a bear flag and we break down, that could help the equities move higher. Let's look at the wicks also and see what's happening. And yeah, we did. We discussed how we will break this low. We did, and we had a bounce. But again, you can see here, we immediately pushed into the previous support, turned into resistance, and we're rejecting. So, I mean, we've always discussed how it does have a trend line support all the way down here at 1077. So I do think that, again, we continue pushing down on the wicks at least for a little bit, at least into like $11, and then we'll see what happens. All right, with that being said, let's look at this week's watch list. And the first one I have is Coin. Again, the reason for that is we were able to hold this trend line higher, kind of going sideways. You can see here, if I draw a trend line this way on Coin, you can see that we are kind of having that pennant breakout, right? So this is a very interesting looking chart. And you can see we pushed into resistance, we rejected, and then we had a really bullish close. So as long as we follow through above 237, 238, we can very easily push into 250, 260. Coin does look like it wants to make that like higher before it's done. So that's how I have calls on Coin. As long as we can break above 238, 239, we should be able to push like this before it comes down. So this is what I have for Coin. Next that I have is VLO. Again, the reason for that is oil is looking a little topsy-turvy. You can see this could be our A wave. This could be our B wave. Again, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, if this is it's too deep, you can see here. If I do make this my 1, 2, you can see here, it is very doubtful that this is a wave 4 that pushes higher. So again, as long as, given that the other charts of oil are looking weaker, as long as we stay below 163, 164, and we can break 162, 161, we should come down into the next level of support at 156, 157. So just have a smaller short, just some more digestion before it goes higher. So you could watch for some weakness in VLO. Let's just take a look at oil. And we are just kind of in a downtrend. it does look like it wants to kind of have an oversold bounce. So I'll put it this way. If we can reject this 78.85 and again push low, then you'll see weakness in VLO. The next that I have is Meta. Again, very similar chart. We know that it's following this channel higher. So far, we have not broken the channel. But again, that doesn't mean it has to be bullish. This could be a wave B. But for me, personally, you can see here, support, turning resistance. If we can get over this 470, like for me, the main important breakpoint would be 480 on a chase. This you can see here, the support is 475. As long as we hold this 475, we can push 480, 490, 500, right? But if we start to break the support, then we'll probably come down to test 447 again. So yeah, keep an eye on Meta. It certainly looks interesting. Last but not the least, we've already traded Lulu before, but again, we did have this massive sell-off. Now it's kind of having that oversold bounce. I still don't think it's done. I think oversold bounce is going to reject and it's going to come down, right? Fill this gap at 287 before it bounces. So that's why I have puts on Lulu, and we already did a trade review on why this would be a good swing short. So looking to see if weakness continues, given that support is down here at 287. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.
Subscribe to LeDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly wave list videos and other content.